morning. Okay, today when I'm filming this is the April 26th, 2016. Today's a studio day and I'm going to be working on a new song. Excited about it. But before I do, I just want to talk to you about something different. Today, it's the 30th anniversary of the Chernobyl nuclear power station disaster, explosion. I'd say many of you are either too young to remember or you weren't even around at the time, and some of you are well able to remember it. I was just about to turn 11 at the time, and I can remember it. I remember watching it in news, and I remember all the commotion going about it and like the fear around it, because I was living in Finland, where I'm originally from, and we're living in Helsinki. I remember watching it in news. I remember talking to my parents about it and asking, you know, the innocent child's questions about it and all that sort of stuff. And I remember that there was a serious fear about the cloud, pollution cloud heading towards Finland, and not a panic, but definitely probably would have got close to it. And then out of nowhere we were told that the wind had turned and the cloud is actually going a different way. You know, you kind of, back in those days especially, you believe what the news told you. You didn't have that access to internet and all that sort of stuff. And I was just looking at there now, old information on the internet about how the explosion cloud moved around Europe, and I think it was pretty much exactly the opposite. Like it came pretty hardcore into Finland at the time, and especially the southern parts of Finland. We weren't in the high risk zone, but we definitely had an effect on it, out of it, you know. Now I don't know whether, who am I to speculate that the Finnish government decided to hide it from the people, that it was gonna go that way and give them a different news. I don't know, but all I'm saying that I have this memory of us being told in the news that it's okay, that the wind has turned and it's not actually coming this way. Which, you know, as I said, back in those days you kind of believed everything that was in the news, and nowadays I'm very skeptical. Call it old age or whatever, but I think it's more to do with the information age that we live in, and that we have access to a lot more information. I'm a very, very skeptical about news in general, and you kind of see the hidden agendas behind it, and who's paying the bills of the newscasters and that kind of stuff. Obviously, back in that day, the people in charge of or in control of the news in Finland would have been the Finnish government. So there you go. I was reading about it also, that like it did have an effect all across Europe. Like there was a research done in Berlin that were in the area, the 9 months after the disaster, the birth rate for Down syndrome children there was a significant peak. It's a horrendous thing, and I think what I'm trying to get that I was in last Friday's song. I was kind of talking about the subject of how us humans are affecting the world that we live in, and how we need to take responsibility for our own actions. And I think this is a good example of how back in those days, yeah, it's easy to go and blame Soviet Union for it, but I mean, like, there's nuclear power plants all over the world, so we need to take responsibility and kind of understand that we're not any sort of gods or anything like that, and there's certain things that we have to keep, like, not to go jump over these things. Like, I think it's very important, especially at the current moment when we have so much new technology. Like, when we think of the past 100 years, how much technology has risen, and then you would even think about the last 16 years since the millennium, how much it's gone again. And I honestly think it's rising even higher and higher, how the technology is advancing. And the thing is, I think we need to let the technology advance, but we need to also take responsibility of it, and make sure that we are responsible of what we do to the world around us. On a better note, during the week there was news about the cross-Pacific flight on a solar powered plane. So I think the energy thing that this whole Chernobyl thing is directly related to, I think opportunity and possibility of actually us getting closer to using renewable sources of energy. It is there, it's just the willingness is at the moment is gone against it more than anything else, because we like to hold on to the old ways. There's too much investment in other parts into the old ways. I think we can get there. I think it's something that we all should play our part again to do whatever we can to make this world a better place. And yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. Let me know what you think about the whole renewable energy. And do you have any stories? Do you remember the Chernobyl accident? Do you have any stories about it? Because the other side of it, like, I'm kind of more interested about the people around Europe, or what your effects or what your memories of it were, because it was a scary time, definitely. It was something happened that had never happened before in our lifetime, and we were all scared. Having said that, we're still here, but radiation is a tricky thing. We never know what the effects of it has been, or we don't know. So yeah, share your stories. And now back to recording. My first rule of recording acoustic guitar in general is that I always record it clean, and if I want to add any effects, add them afterwards. And I'm pretty religious about that rule, pretty strict. But as some of you know, I got a new toy during the weekend. I got the Boss Terra Echo, and I want to break that rule today with this week's song. So I want to try the Terra Echo, but the way I'm going to be doing it is now that I'll have two stereo microphones, as usually I record the acoustic guitar. One at the 12th fret, and one pointing at the roundabout 12th fret, and one just on the other side of the bridge. I split them right and left, and then I take a pickup signal into the Terra Echo and record that as well. And I'll probably leave that somewhere in the middle. So this is an experiment. We'll see how it's gonna work out or not. Okay, in yesterday's vlog, you saw me and Brian were in the X Music, among the other things, which is one of the bigger music shops here around Dublin. And I wanted to show you something. I'm not going to go into detail too much about this week's song, because last week we went so much in detail, so I thought I'd give you something else to do with the studio. So I'll give you a quick overview of, I've talked about it, but I never actually showed you how I record my acoustic guitar, because that's something that a lot of people are asking about and saying that what's the best way to record an acoustic guitar. I don't know if this is the best way. It's not the only way I've done it, but it's the one that I kind of keep on going back to a lot. Let's just say I had the pleasure of working once with a AKG 414, just but pointing roughly about 16th fret where the body of the guitar meets the neck, and it sounded absolutely fantastic. I don't have a budget for AKG 414. It's an expensive mic. Someday I will have a budget for it, but not today. So I'm doing the best I can. To me, this probably is the best way to do it. It's also a great way to make a very big acoustic guitar sound, because you can do a stereo spread. Let me show you. What I bought yesterday from the X Music was just a adapter stand thing, which I attached to my mic stand. So what do we do this? Plate. I'll show you. Let's have it. Great microphones. These ones came directly from the factory through a friend of a friend of a friend. Here we go. You put this in front of your acoustic guitar, right? This pointing around about 12th fret, and this pointing just on the other side of the bridge. Check this out, guys. I don't know if you can see, but there's more hailstones. This is ridiculous. Like, I've never seen this many hailstones in one springtime. It's just nuts. The weather is crazy.
don't know what's going on with the weather.
Okay, it's been another busy day in the studio. Just bounced off the first version of the track. It sounded very nice, and it's kind of moody and mellow track this week. But it sounded really, really nice, and I don't think it needs much more tweaking anymore. I might run it by Brian and see what he thinks. Yeah, so I'm not gonna get more into this week's song than that. Just got you guitar, acoustic guitar tip. To hear the results of that acoustic guitar, you can hear them on my on the song comes out. And as I said, also you'll hear a little bit of the Terra echo mixed in with everything. So let me know what you think of the final results when they come out. Yeah, another studio day done. Talk to you guys in a bit.
I ain't giving up just yet. Too much life left in my veins, and I don't mean to be a threat. Let me make my